Hey guys, just before we get to today's clip, just a quick reminder for all Serie A fans in the UK and Ireland, you can now stream every single match live on OneFootball. No matter which team you're backing, OneFootball's got you covered. You can watch via the OneFootball app on your phone or connected TVs from Apple TV, Google TV, Samsung, LG, and Fire TV, or on the website tv.onefootball. And what's even better is that you can choose how you watch it. You can grab a team or a season pass to watch all the matches until the end of the season, or just the ones from your favourite club. There's also a match day pass for £9.99 to watch all the weekend's games, or a single match on pay-per-view for £4.99. And yeah, if you missed a live game, you'll still get access to all the match highlights too. So if Serie A is your thing, OneFootball is where it's at. We'll have a link in the description of the episode for you to buy your preferred stream.
Welcome to the Italian Football Podcast.
Well, just to finish off on Juventus, I want to talk about Giuntoli. Now, Cristiano Giuntoli risks being sacked by Juventus, according to the people I've been speaking to in and around Juventus. He risks the sack, even if Juventus finish in the top four. In fact, the people that I've been speaking to say that it's actually quite likely that Cristiano Giuntoli is going to be sacked at the end of the season. That the Exor management and the Juventus management, very, very unhappy with Giuntoli, the job that he's done. Remember, this is 2 years in the job. A lot of people seem to kind of mistakenly think this is his first year in the job. This is his second season in the job. So he's had 2 years now. And if they get rid of him, 3 names are being considered at the moment. Giovanni Sartori, obviously amazing work at Bologna, Atalanta before. Ugo Tognozzi, who was previously involved with Juventus Youth, he was the one that was responsible for bringing in so many of these great young players like Osimhen, Sule, Yildiz. So he's got a very good track record. A bit like Monsada at Milan, like very good at identifying young talent. And then Frederic Massara, who was the former Milan chief. These are the kind of 3 names that are being considered. But Giuntoli, I'm told, is actually more likely than not he's going to be sacked at the end of the season. And to be honest with you, Nima, I've got to the point now. I think it's the right decision to sack him. I really do. I was earlier on in the season. I was like, oh, maybe we should give him a chance. But when I look at it now, towards the end of the season, I mean, if you look at just from this season alone, he's chose Thiago Motta over Antonio Conte to be the manager. That's been a disaster. They've had to sack him a few months before the end of the season.
He sacked Allegri.
Well, sacking Allegri, I mean, that was always the plan. What I'm unhappy with the Allegri thing is the way that it was all handled. It was handled very ugly. It was very ugly the way it was handled, but not so much at the time after Allegri went. This season, the way that he just cut ties with anybody that had any kind of association or connection or relationship with Allegri, Szczesny, Danilo, the way that was handled in January. I mean, it was. I thought it was very badly handled. It actually made things more difficult for you. Like Juventus went the whole month of January without a centre back because they decided that they wanted to cut ties with Danilo just because of some grudge to do with Allegri. I mean, that was ridiculous. Then, of course, there's the money spent, which okay, it's not as bad as some people say because of the it's gross versus net, but it's still a hell of a lot of money. But the bad thing is the big money signings that he made have been disasters. Coop Miners, Douglas Luiz, Nico Gonzalez, who's improved a little bit, but still, you're talking 3 players there. What, 140 million, 150 million or something between the 3 of them. I mean, the money that's wasted. Then you've got Alberto Costa, who actually did all right. It was probably Juventus' best player, but he's looked a disaster. You pay 15 million for that mid-season. How has he helped Juventus get into the top
Kelly?
Four? Yeah, Lord Kelly buying him for 24 million. And then you think that he didn't sign Calafiori because he said because they said it was too much money to pay 40 million or 50 million for Calafiori when you're wasting this money on these other players. Given
the injuries that Calafiori has had, and given the injury situation and how injuries have been handled at Juve, maybe
True.
maybe that was a blessing in disguise.
Well, yeah, maybe, but I mean,
But yeah, no,
his
I think the way that he's
the point, and
handled,
then they're letting the youngsters go as well, which is obviously something. I know that's something that Exeter are really
yeah,
angry at, that they let Huijsen and Sule go, who are two players like, Sule the last few months has been one of the best players in Serie A, and he looks like a big talent for the future. But Huijsen is now. I'll be honest. I didn't see it myself with Huijsen. I'll be honest.
I
I'm
liked
not gonna. I'm not
Huijsen, but
gonna
I
lie.
didn't think he was
I
going to
didn't think he would
explode.
reach these levels. I didn't. But still, you sell him for that amount of money, and then you sign Lord Kelly for more, and then now Huijsen is worth 80 million or I think he's got release clause of 60 million. But I mean, it's disaster after disaster after disaster. So, and if you don't get top four, I think it doesn't even matter the top four. I think that everything has been handled. Everything that Giuntoli's been in charge of has been shambolic.
I think it's not just that the players and signings haven't panned out. It's not just the Thiago Motta. It's how he's handled himself. The way that he's handled situations has not been da Juve. And that's a surefire way of getting yourself sacked. There's a certain way of doing things at Juve, and if you don't do them that way, and it turns into this kind of shit show, then your days are numbered. And I think that's kind of what it is. These ugly manners of handling things like that is just not how it's acceptable to do at Juventus, and that's why he will. I also think that maybe it's time to. I think they might just get rid of him. To be honest, and I think it would be. But then again, okay, but you have to have someone there to take over. Sartori just extended his contract with Bologna, but then again, I don't think Bologna will stand in his way, if you know what I mean, because of his age and how well he's done.
Yeah,
But
he's
you
quite
don't know.
old. He's
Yeah,
like
he is.
67, 68,
Yeah,
something
he
like
is.
that.
He's
He's
an
not young.
Altmeister. Yeah, he's an Altmeister, you could say. But but yeah, no, it's going to be fascinating to see how they handle it. But I'm starting to lean towards a situation where I think Juventus don't have a choice but to get rid of Giuntoli. If I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think you can go into next season. I think you need to clean break here, and I think I do still think Cristiano Giuntoli is a brilliant director. I still think he what he did at Napoli was truly unbelievable. His career is fantastic. He still masterminded the second best summer mercato after Inter in the summer of 2009. His summer, when he got rid of the Insignias, the Martens, the Ruiz, and all of that, and he brought in Hvicha, Kim Min-jae, all these signings, Raspadori, like all of that, and put together that Scudetto winning side that maybe had they not played that Milan under Pioli, probably could have gone even further in Europe. Because, let's remember the way that they smashed Liverpool. They played a football under Spalletti that would have paid off in Europe. I think they were unlucky to be drawn with Milan. But yeah, it's I do think that, however, having said that, there's a right way and a wrong way of doing things at Juve. And I think Cristiano Giuntoli, since he took over at Juve, has done pretty much every major decision. Every single major decision he has done, not only has he gotten wrong, but he's handled and gone about it in the wrong way. And that is then you're a dead man walking if you do that at Juve.
Yeah, I think I also believe that. Be careful what I say here. I also believe that the fact that Giorgio Chiellini is now going to be taking on a bigger role within the club spells bad news for whether the chances of Giuntoli staying. And the reason why is I know that Giorgio Chiellini is not a fan of Giuntoli. I can't say more than that.
Everybody in the world.
I said that on this pod around about November, December time. I said that I know that. Maybe I didn't say it on the pod. I can't remember. I was told it around November, December time that Giorgio Chiellini, who at the time obviously didn't have a particularly big role at Juventus, that Giorgio Chiellini didn't rate Giuntoli. And the fact that now I'm seeing that Giuntoli and Elkan and Chiellini and Elkan, and that Chiellini's getting now a bigger role within the club going forward. For me, that suggests to me that Giuntoli's on the way out, because I think that I'm not sure whether Chiellini would have accepted a role knowing that Giuntoli's going to be there next season. That's why I think that Giuntoli's in trouble here, regardless of whether they finish top. I mean, if they don't finish top 4, he's gone. 100%, he's gone. There's no way you can keep him after failing to finish in the top 4.
My thing is, who do they like? It's not just that. Like the thing with it's such an implosion, a spectacular implosion at Juve, that I really don't know who they bring in and what coach they should bring in to fix this. I really don't know. I really don't tell you. I mean, if you fry Giuntoli, well, then Osimhen is off the cards probably.
Yeah,
because he, then also, you won't bring in someone like Spalletti. Okay, well, do you bring in Sartori? Well, Sartori, okay, him and Conte, do they work? Do you bring in Petracchi, who is Conte's best friend? But Petracchi, is he? I mean, yeah, he's not there anymore. But is he good? Is he of the quality? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
he hasn't been active enough, I don't think, has he?
Exactly.
Really
I'm trying to, like, this jigsaw puzzle that I'm trying to put together. Okay, do you put in Ricky Massara and you bring in Paolo Maldini? Who knows? I mean, do you know what I mean? Like,
can you imagine
you bring in Massara and Maldini.
Maldini reportedly was a Juventus fan when he was a kid.
Yeah, he was.
That's the rumor. Yeah.
No, it's not rumor.
Maybe he wants to go to. Maybe he wants to go to Juve. I just want to do just for social here. So this is damning on Cristiano Giuntoli, but also some of his predecessors as well. But especially on Cristiano Giuntoli. So look at this Juventus 11 that we can put together, a best Juventus 11 of current players that they sold, right? Look at this team and then tell me whether you think it would actually beat the current Juventus team. So we can make up a system of a 3-4-2-1. Goalkeeper, Szczesny. Defenders, centre-backs, Matthijs de Ligt, Dean Huijsen, and Christian Romero. Then in midfield, we've got on the wide midfield roles, Riccardo Orsolini and Coman. And then in the centre, we have Nicola Rovella and Dejan Kulusevski. Then as the attacking midfielders, we have Paulo Dybala and Matthias Sule. And then in attack, we have Moise Kean. And on the subs bench, we have Corny Da Vinta, Draguzin, Spinazzola, Cancelo, Nicolucci Caviglia, Mandragora, Rabiot, Federico Chiesa, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Do you think, Nima, would that team beat the current Juventus team?
I think that starting lineup does, but that's not on Giuntoli, though, is it? I mean, he didn't sell Kulusevski. He didn't sell...
No, not all of them, no.
But we can't
blame...
Quite
a few of them he did sell.
I think the Dybala thing, I think they had to move away from him, too. I can't blame him too much. Just like Cristiano Ronaldo, they should never have signed him in the first place. That's what got them in trouble to begin with.
Moise Kean, Sule, Rovella, Dean Huijsen. There's 4. I mean, Szczesny...
Christian Romero, Cuti Romero, I mean, yeah.
That was before him. But I mean, we're talking about 4, and then you got a few there from Paratici, a few from after Paratici.
That's the thing, though.
It also sums up how badly Juventus have been run.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Post Marotta, if anything sums up the cluster F that has been Juventus, it is this. Between Paratici and this guy, I don't know. I couldn't begin to tell you who's done worst, because Paratici laid the groundwork for the implosion, and Giuntoli has just not been able to stop it.
Paratici lit the fuse, and then
Paratici
lit the fuse
dynamite under the house, lit the match,
and
blew
then
it up.
Giuntoli poured oil on the gasoline.
Exactly. Once everything was blown up, Giuntoli came with a tanker that said water on it, but instead it was gasoline. Like, it's just like that's what they've done. Now the explosion and the detonation is all dear Fabio's. That's all on Mr. Paratici.
Yeah,
he completely destroyed.
Anyway, listen, I've had enough of depression.